Charlie's got the zoomies. Good evening, bookies. My name is Hannah, and welcome back to Top 10 Tuesdays. So today we are talking about the best book tropes. We are ranking my favorite book tropes 10 to 1. Obviously, this is how Top 10 Tuesdays usually works, so let's just get to it. So number 10, we have cliffhangers. I love cliffhangers because I feel like when they're at the end of a book, it'll actually get me to read the second book a lot faster than it usually would if it wasn't a cliffhanger. I don't think there's any time I don't like cliffhangers. I guess I don't like them at the end of like a narrative or like a chapter where it switches point of views, because then the whole time I'm on this other point of view with this other character the whole time. I'm just like, just get back to it, just get back to it. And then I don't really pay attention to that chapter. But that's the only time. But like when it's at the end of a book, heck yeah, I'm here for it. Number 9 is found family. I love in books when there's a ton of kids, there's usually kids. They're mostly kids. Teens. Where there's just a ton of them, there's really no adults around, which I think is kind of weird. But it's like they just become a big group of, people who support each other and are able to survive like that. Number 8, redeemed villain. This should be higher on my list, but it's not because there's better ones ahead. But like the best villain is a redeemed villain, or like a villain who's like, okay, how do I explain this? A villain who is super bad at the beginning of a book or a series and you just hate them. But then slowly, as it happens more in like anime, I've noticed, where it's like slowly the bad guy at the beginning of the series just ends up being less of a bad guy compared to anybody else, and then it's like they kind of just become friends. When it happens in a book, it's like chef's kiss. A really good villain arc, Zuko. Zuko is the king of my heart. But like, book villains deserve redemption. I'm looking at a certain villain, but it's fine. That's the best kind of villain, a redeemed villain. Number 7 is a medieval European setting, which happens a lot in books. Like, they're everywhere, which is fine. I actually like this a lot. I like the aesthetic, which is why it's higher on the list than the redeemed villain. I think they're more kind of equal in my mind, but they're very, very popular in like fantasy books and time travel books and all that kind of stuff, and I love it. Number 6. If you've been on my channel long enough, you know that this is one of my favorite tropes. It's not really a trope, it's kind of like a subgenre, but I'm going to count it as a trope, even if it's subtle in any book. It's a fairy tale retelling. I love them. They are my cream. Like, I love fairy tale retellings. I will read them until I die. There's no fairy tale retelling that I get sick of. That's how much I love these. Number 5, broody boys. They don't have to be dark-haired boys, even though, that's the thing. I'm not hating on it. I actually love it. But like, the dark, mysterious, oh no, I'm bad for you, Bella boys. Obviously, Edward is obviously a champion in this whole thing. But like, when I'm reading a book and a character like that is introduced, I'm immediately like, I see you. I see you. I love it. Number 4, secret royalty. I love when the main character knows their secret royalty, but no one else in the book does. And they're like kind of keeping it a secret. But like on the other side of it, I also love when they hide it from the reader and then they're like, boom, royalty. Congratulations, you are a queen. Number 3, amnesia. Whenever a character, like, I get it, it's kind of an overplayed trope. It's always a character who wakes up from amnesia and is just like, I don't remember what happened the past 3 years of my life. I'm guilty of playing this trope in the book I'm writing right now. Like, literally, it's not a good trope, but it's a fun trope, because when you finally get to the end and the mystery is solved, then you're like, oh, wow, there were so many clues to that I didn't really get and understand back then, but I get it now. And then the character's also like, whoa, what the hell? It's a good trope. Number 2. Again, if you've been on my channel, you know this is one of my favorite tropes of all time. And actually, I think I did an old Top 10 Tuesdays using the same like top 10 tropes and top 10 least favorite tropes. I did this a long time ago, and I believe this was number 1. It's number 2 now because I've developed another favorite one. Number 2 is a girl disguised as a boy. Now, there are a lot of books that play this trope. There's Vengeance Road, Flame in the Mist, Walk on Earth a Stranger, Spin the Dawn. More. There's more. There's more somewhere. There's more though. I love this trope. I don't know why. I just love this trope. I think it's fun to know how the girls have to hide, and then when it's fully discovered, and there's always that one character who knew from the beginning or suspected from the beginning, and you're just like, now they're just like, I was right, and everyone else is like, wah, and that I hope I sounded like Waluigi.
Waluigi time.
But that's one of my all-time favorite tropes. And finally, number 1, my favorite trope of all time for now. Enemies to lovers. I don't care if they hate each other. I don't care if they tried to kill one another. I don't care if they're supposed to kill one another. If it goes from enemies to lover to hey, I can kind of stand you to hey, I kind of understand you to hey, I'm kind of liking you to hey, I'm in love with you. Sign me the up. Like, that is like jam. There's also a lot of books that play on this. If you really want to know more books that play on this, I can give you like 20 examples of books that play on this. Like, so many examples. And that is it for my top 10 favorite tropes. I know this video was very quick. I realize that a lot of my videos are very, very long, so I'm trying to cut this down quite a bit. But yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Rock on!